Hi everybody, hope you're doing well and welcome to Axion Token live stream. Man, oh man, we've got a good show for you today. Lots of insights into Axion ecosystem, and I think the momentum is starting to really change. And we're going to look at some of the drivers behind that today. We're going to look at the whale movements, the top 50 wallets, and a few other wallets. We're also going to look at those who are buying in, those who have been selling out in the big wallets. We're going to look at total circulating supply. We're going to adjust that circulating supply to make it represent what really is happening on the circulating supply. And of course, we're going to look at the total amount of wallets. So there's lots of good stuff there, insights into Axion. And man, the price is looks like it's having a little pump today, and not surprising given some of the stuff we're going to look at during the live stream. So hold on to your hats, folks. It's going to be pretty cool. Let me get into the chat there, make sure everything's up and running. Looking pretty good. So hey, we've already got Andreas in the house. Hey, good to see you. Very cool, and welcome. It's been great to see you in the chat there. Very nice. So we're going to keep going and to get into some of this content. And for those who are watching after the live stream, don't forget subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and of course, if you have any comments, let me put them in there. Anything else you want me to look at? I've got a couple of video series around Axion's ecosystem. It's going to be pretty insightful, so look at that too. But yeah, get in there, folks, and look forward to it. All right, so let's get into the price at the moment. Look at this. This is the long-term price since Axion's been on Polygon. So we're going to do a couple of things first. We're going to pull up the old ruler, and we're going to look at the close price there and the number of days. So number of days on Polygon, 92 days. So 3 months, folks. Axion migrated from Ethereum to Polygon, and of course, it has avoided all those high gas fees, hundreds of dollars of gas fees that other projects are paying. They're still on there. So remember the top three CD projects, deposit projects, Hex, of course, Wise, and Axion. Now, Hex and Wise are still on Ethereum paying those high gas fees, whereas Axion already moved off, and we pay pretty much, for the most part, pay a fraction of a penny. So very cool. And of course, instead of paying $100, you're paying 1 cent. Is a big deal. And of course, it's opened it up to Axion being the preeminent certificate of deposit project on Polygon. And not only that, but it allows people from all around the world, no matter what country they're living in, to get easy access into good investments through Axion. So very cool. Now, obviously, Axion at the beginning had a lot of supply, and if that's something the teams had to manage with the tokenomics, we also had a lot of Bitcoin free claimers as well at the beginning. So the projects had to absorb a lot of that volume, and has been doing so. And I think you can see since Polygon's been on there, the actual rate of sell down has slowed down. How do we represent that? Well, we represent that by the fact that we've got this this orange curve here. You can see that the angle or the rate of change is reducing, and we're getting down to the very day now, dated 20th of January, and you can see we've got some really nice pumps going on. Now, I actually think that this is really a good chance, if any, for a turning point here. We've got the rate of change slowing down, and we've now got 2 green days in the play. And we're going to look at what's driving some of this price action lately. We've got more buyers than sellers coming in, and I think this is going to continue. And so let's have a look at some of the stuff in here and have a look at that. So we've got Crypto Jackson House. Hit that like and subscribe. Absolutely. Hey, good to see Crypto Jacks 3 in the house, and Axion Official's in there too. Very cool. Great to see Axion Official in the channel as well. So let's have a quick look at some of the stuff. So I think that this is looking ripe for picking up Axion, and I expect a lot of people, I've had a lot of people in my ear, as it were, talking about that they want to pick up more Axion. So I think this is a pretty interesting time. So definitely do your investment due diligence. Check out Axion.network. Hit up Telegram and Discord. Get onto the moderators there. 24/7 service there to help you with that as well. So if you want to learn more about Axion, do that. And I think that man, oh man, if anything time was a good buyer's time, I really do think that the time is now. So pretty nice. Let's zoom into this at the moment and have a look at the upside. Let's have a look at the hourly chart. So let's jump over to that. We're going to have a look at the last couple of hours, and you can really see some volume coming in here at the moment. And we're going to look at some of the reasons, drivers behind this volume coming up. So very cool. Let's have a look at the low here. Low, we were down just the other day on the 18th of January. And, you know, we're already up about 30%, 27, 28, 30% there from there, and looking very cool. But I do believe we're having a little volatility in this range, but I really do think that we're starting to get less sellers and more buyers, folks, and that's very cool. And don't forget, of course, the Axion's accelerator also plays a huge role in the buy. So this is a lot of this demand at the moment is coming from on SushiSwap, is coming from big buyers coming in, and we're going to check that out during the live stream. I think it's going to be pretty fascinating. Axion Pullen's in the house. Hey, good to see the marketing director for Axion in the house as well. Morning all, good to see you. And Crypto Jack's 3 says, coming up from here, time to buy the last few dips. I think so, Crypto Jack. I think really things are starting to fly, and we're going to have a look at the closer look at that. Axion Pullen says, time to say goodbye to this dip. I think so too. And Crypto Jack's got the Superman outfit on. That's pretty cool. I like that. You know how I roll. That's my name. My moniker is Superman Online. So that's how we're going to go for here. So let's actually pull it up. So I think that's looking pretty good. Some nice green candles here, and we're going to pull out of this. And this was a quick reprieve or review of the price, and we're going to come back to that in a second. You can see if the price starts going up, we've got a lot of upside here, massive gains potentially. And so let's have a look. The team is looking forward to push the price way up high, and so I think a lot of stuff is starting to work there. And of course, lots been happening in the Discord around the tokenomics for the accelerator to continue that buyback and burn of the Axion price, and that's going to come up for community vote as well. Already finished one for 15 days, just over the end of the 2021 through to most of the early 2022, and I think that's working pretty well. So very, very cool. Let's get into some of this. Of course, we're going to say, look, let's say if the price got back to the opening price in Polygon, you know, that's 430% as a return on that. So I think we've got, and that's just the beginning. The really Axion, I think, can get up to that 1 cent mark once the buyers momentum starts coming in. That's it in crypto. Once you start getting momentum, you get confidence. Then you start getting the people come and the green candles, and the price goes up. It's kind of like that. It's the momentum and the confidence that gets into play. And I think that we're kind of at that turning point at the moment, sensing a lot more confidence coming in to the Axion community, into Discord and stuff like that. And people are hearing the words there. Very, very cool. So let's jump over from that. We're going to start looking at, first of all, we're going to look at the total circulating supply. Just want to get out of the way, but I think it's something to look at. And let's go on here. We're going to quickly check. Let me just move around these spreadsheets here. We're going to get in here. So this is the total supply on Axion at the moment. So we've got 369.9 billion total supply. So currently it reads as 116 billion circulating supply, and this is the figure I'm going to adjust online for this video. So we're going to get into that, and of course total stake 253.7 billion, and then we're also going to talk about max stake. So 44% of Axion stake is a stake for 15.2 years, which just shows you the incredible long-term investors in Axion. Pretty cool. The other side of it, of course, Axion burned 36 billion. Axion being burned. This is through their main product, which is where you buy and stake. That's basically where you invest in through the accelerator. And of course, I cover that many times on this channel. And of course, 36 billion Axion's been burned so far through the accelerator, which is outstanding. You can see that is a big deal. So we're going to come into the spreadsheet. We're going to take all those numbers, and we're going to jump into the spreadsheet here, and we're going to jump over to the Axion adjustments. So we're going to take all those numbers. You can see those numbers all here have been copied over into this top cells here. So these are the same numbers as we just saw on the Axion platform, and we're going to adjust them. So we're going to adjust them for the burn. We're going to take the circulating supply, and of course that's 80 billion. And that basically is circulating supply minus the Axion burned. That gets us down to 80 million. So that gives us a staked of 253 and an adjusted total supply less burn of 333 billion. You've got to remember, when Axion is staked, it's actually burned, and you don't get the Axion back until the end of the Axion stake. It gets reminted. You remint it back, and that's how that works. So the other side, of course, is that if we adjust it further, we can go for a second stage of adjustment for the team wallet. We've got the Axion Dev wallet sitting at 9.8 billion. I think I remember when that was, I can't remember, 50 billion, I think, originally. So they're down 9.8 billion there. The circulating supply is 80 and then we adjust it by that 9.8, that brings us down to 70.3. So Axion's circulating supply much lower, and I just think that that's going to start getting churned up as people stake. That puts Axion off the market, and also as we do more buybacks and burns through the accelerator, and of course as new investors coming in are buying off liquid off the market, as we're seeing at the moment. So we're going to have a quick closer look at that now. So we're going to jump over to that, folks. That is the circulating supply that's adjusted. I've adjusted the numbers as you've just seen. And of course, let's jump over to the whales. We're going to have a see what's been going on. So we've talked about the price here moving up at quadruple 058. So it's just looks like it's starting to get that move on. And I think that's going to continue, and I'm going to show you some of the stuff that's going on. So if we go over to the Axion contract on a poly scan there, you can see, so that's Polygon scan. You can see the Axion contract here. We've got 116 billion Axions in circulating supply. So you can actually see that on the spreadsheet here. So 116 is on circulating supply, and this is unadjusted, of course, that I did, and you can see that on there. And then, of course, at the top here, you can see I've adjusted for the burn address. This is the old burn address. So when Axion buys through the accelerator, people buy and invest through the accelerator, 55 to sometimes 98%, depending on what's going on at the time, goes and buys Axion and burns it. And of course, you can see that burn 36 billion there. The team's wallet here, and then we've got Uniswap sitting here. Sorry, SushiSwap, I should say. So much used to be on Ethereum, but SushiSwap on here, 2.1 billion. Those are the ones there. So this is still in circulating supply. Of course, that is what's being traded on SushiSwap. And then we have all these whale wallets here, and I call them whale just loosely. They're really wallets with over 1 billion Axion on them. So it's just a bit of a slang use there, but that's what they are. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those, and then we keep going down underneath that. We've got under 6 of those. We've got all these wallets all the way down through to the top 50 wallets here. And of course, if we move on to the next page, we're going to keep going on through to see these wallets. So this wallet's going down to 200,000 there. So we've got 54 wallets above 200,000. Obviously, 2 of those are the dev wallet and the burn address. So that's what we've got there. And so we're going to have a look at those. I've gone through all those wallets to see their activity. And so if we bring that back up here, this is what we're going to have a look at. So if we look at the ones that are over 1 billion, we can see the activity. This is how much liquid they got sitting out there. So often you go, well, why they got liquid sitting out there? Why don't they just stake some of it? And sometimes they do. Sometimes they do stake it. Sometimes they have it come out and they just leave it there. Maybe they're deciding what to do. The market's doing all sorts of things. Maybe they're thinking about other projects. Maybe thinking about, oh, when should I do long stakes with Axion? What's Axion doing? So all these sort of decisions that typical investors make come into play. So we can see that they've got this amount of liquid here. And if you add that all up, of course, is 8 billion liquid there. And of course, on the right here, you've got staked amounts. So you've got 1.7, 400 million, 280 million, and 2.5. So really, they've got a lot of liquid, except for the top wallet here. This is the number one wallet over 1 billion. And of course, they're 1.7 billion staked. That's a total of 3.4 billion. So they're 50% staked, which is pretty good. The next one is 21% staked. The other ones don't have anything staked. And then this one's 21%. So that's pretty interesting. I don't think that any of these wallets are any other ones that I'm not aware of, maybe related to the team. I don't believe so, based on these behavior here. And then, of course, we've got the shares here that they have. So when you stake Axion, you swap your Axion for shares, and this is their percentage of their shares versus the total amount. So if there's 100% of people staked, that'd be 100% of the shares. These guys have basically 0.2% of the shares. Now, there's people that are fully staked, big whales that are fully staked that have percentage points. They have over 1%. Some of them much more than that. But these ones have particularly this amount staked. And you can see that the average stake is 15.2 years on this top one. So their 1.7 billion is staked for the max period. The second one's got 437 million staked for 8.7 years, which is pretty good. All right. And of course, that's actually above the Axion average, which is about 8 years. And Axion's staking average is the best out of all the certificate of deposit projects. Second is Hex at 6.11 years. And then, of course, then is Wise Token, which is way down at about 2.7 years. And that's actually dropping as we speak, because there's 1/3 of the stakes are coming out at the moment. So Well, technically, they could actually get longer, but it depends what people do there. So we'll see what happens. All right, so that's what's happening. And then the bottom two whales have 280 million and 2.5 million. They're also staked for 15 years respectively, which is pretty good. That's pretty outstanding. You can't really do much better than that as well. But the thing is, they've got all this liquid sitting out, and the question is, why do they have it all sitting out when they can earn interest in Axion and wrap Bitcoin dividends? So some interesting questions there. Then, of course, we look at their activity, what they've actually been doing. These wallets over $1 billion. We got the top one here, 20 days ago, they did some actions. 13 days ago, 45 days ago. This one here is not applicable. Don't know why I put that there, but it must be because they hadn't done anything. It must be just a deployment, so maybe nothing's ever happened to this wallet. It just got deployed once we moved over to Polygon. And then this one here, 56 days ago, and then 84 days ago. So see, not a lot of activity except for this number 2. And I think that was either a little sell or a little stake there that was going on. So not much activity happening in that time frame. And then, of course, once we get out of the billionaires, so there's not a lot of activity from them happening. They don't seem to be particularly selling down the price at the whales that are sitting there with their big amounts of Axion there. So that's pretty interesting. So that's where we get up to the top billion. Then I went through the 200 million to less than 1 billion wallets, which is the top 52. So if you take that account, that's 2, that's 50, and of course 49 minus 6. So basically the other 43 wallets above the 52. So 43 wallets above 200 million is what I looked at. And these were the only ones. These 4 in recent times are the only ones that have been doing a lot of activity, plus these 2 as well. So sorry, these 3 wallets here as well, which were under the 200 threshold. Well, this one was just at 200, but otherwise under the 200 threshold, 200 million there. So some interesting stuff. So let's have a quick look. We're just going to go, before I get into the top wallets here, I'm just going through some of the comments. We've got CJ says, unconvinced, none of us sleep. Yeah, that's probably right. Andreas says, no sleep, only Noko. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people in Axion don't actually sleep that long. I'm pretty convinced of that too. Solix says, morning all, the Pullins tokenomics looks great in the long term. Very, very cool. So we're going to talk about that a bit later. And when we get into Discord, we're going to wrap up the live stream with some of the stuff that Pullins been doing. Pullins obviously the marketing marketing director for Axion, and they're doing some tokenomics review with the community at the moment on the buyback and burn. So very, very cool. Shane Walker's in the house. Hey, Fixation, good to see you. Hey, folks. And B's in the house. I've been wondering how to break Poly's gone down. Thanks, Mint. Hey, most welcome. And we've got a bit of a troll in there as well. Axion Pullin, what is sleep? Yeah, Axion Pullin does not know what sleep is, and that's probably the case. So very, very cool. But we all know what coffee is, right? We all know what coffee is. So it's probably one thing we do know. All right, so looking at the top 52 wallets account, so we're going to go to the spreadsheets here. And of course, we're looking at the top 52. So every wallet above this one, 54. So we're going to go forward into this. So this has always been on my mind about, what are these guys doing? I'm only doing, the contemporary period. So say the last couple of weeks to try and see what they've been doing. Obviously, with the price chart, people have been selling down into this many times, and of course the Axion team has done some brilliant work in absorbing a lot of that expected stuff. The whales from the beginning who had lots of Axion, the Bitcoin free claimers that had lots of Axion, and of course the big payday that did a lot of Axion and that sort of stuff. So the team has done lots of things to absorb that, changing the tokenomics in the accelerator, initiating and launching the Diamond Stake NFT, which was very successful and absorbed a couple of billion Axion through that. So it's been pretty successful, and this chart would probably look more dramatic if that wasn't the case. But I think now with the rate of change slowing down, it really is starting to look pretty good to start moving up the other side, as it were. So looking good for that. Let's have a look at some of the actual momentum, what people in the wallets are doing now. This is probably pretty critical because if the supply is starting to get inactive, that means that demand can really start making an impact. Now, obviously, supply does move into a function of price. So as price moves up, I should probably this way, as price moves up, the supply side will react to that. But I think that we can get some really good momentum from now because a lot of that stuff looks inactive and it looks like, oh, they could have sold, they would have sold. We'll still get sellers, but I think that we've got a good chance that we're going to get more buyers moving forward into 2022. So it's going to look good to that. Now, so let's have a look. So these are all the accounts that I've basically gone through and reviewed just for their recent activity, and we're going to get into some of that now. So we can see that we've got these top wallets here. These are the big three. So these are buyers. These are big buyers. We've got this wallet here. This wallet has been buying a lot. So they're now up to 874 million. So they obviously decided to take a position in Axion for the time being. Now, whether they actually stake some of it or not, maybe to do with them spending a bit more time. We don't know what their total motives are. All we know is that they've been buying. And so they bought just about 10 minutes ago. They did another buy for about 100 million just before this live stream. Maybe that was 20 minutes ago. Yeah, it was 20 minutes ago. So just before the live stream, they did that. And of course, they've done 5 buys in the last 10 days, folks. 5 buys. And now they're up to 874. So they are taking a pretty decent position in Axion at the moment. All right. So then, of course, we've got the second one, 422, almost 423 million. And of course, most of that has been buying recently. So they're also taking a position in Axion. So this is pretty exciting to see new investors taking up positions in Axion at the moment. So it looks pretty good. We don't know who they are. We don't know their motives. Although we do that, we could go right back and try and chain analysis the whole thing. But this is just reasonably contemporary behavior. So pretty cool. Then, of course, we had this one here came at 209, 200. They reached the 200 million mark, and their most recent buy was 120 million. This one is different though. These two appear to be kind of new, whereas this one here is seems to be someone that's been in Axion for a little while, trading in and out. Now they've basically bought 120 million recently, and they've moved up to 200 million there, sitting in the top, what did I say, 53 wallets or something like that. So very, very cool. On the sell side, however, this was the most recent sell side. That was 13 days ago. They sold 131 million, and of course they are now down to 250 million. So they're still sitting on 250 million. And these are the kind of size of wallets that often sell down when we get some good news or something like that. They sell down 200 million, and they kind of ruin our momentum on the price chart. And of course, we had quite a few of these to absorb as we were getting in this price. As you can see in the chart, we had to absorb all of those, but the team did lots of awesome stuff to counter all this, and now I think that we're getting through the other side. Now, sometimes you think it's going to happen within a couple of weeks, but sometimes it might take you a couple of months. In this case, 3 months, I think. We're finally getting to the point where we can get a bit of momentum forward and start moving back up. So very, very cool. And so let's have a quick look at some of that. So those are sellers. Then, of course, we had 2 wallets, or 3 wallets, I should say, that were also under, which weren't over the 200 million qualifying period, except for this middle one here. So 2 out of 3 of them. And of course, they sold 181 million, 200 million, and 193 million in the sell side there. So pretty interesting now, but it looks like we've got buyers here. These buyers now offsetting the sellers. So we've got these buyers now offsetting the sellers, and that looks pretty positive. And obviously, as more investors get attracted, the gorillas get out there doing the Twitter storms, doing really well, keep that momentum up. It's all about consistency. The YouTubers out there, like this channel, Crypto Casino, and others, getting out there. The marketing team from Axion, obviously doing their thing, spreading the word and so forth. Just in the tokenomics, getting the marketing out, get the sales channel really refined, get all those sort of stuff happening. A lot of other stuff that the team is probably looking at is very, very exciting. So very, very cool. If you haven't checked out the video yesterday, we talked about some of the upcoming releases from Axion, an investor video series from Paul, the marketing director, Galaxy NFT stakes, which are awesome. That's going to be the first out there like that. So pretty exciting stuff, and much, much more. So check out yesterday's video on that, on the near-term releases. So very, very cool. All right, new launch partners, other stuff like that. So really cool. All right, so this is the buying side. This is what we're seeing in momentum at the moment. Very, very nice. And of course, now we're going to jump over to, and now we've looked at the bigger accounts. These are the ones that really do move the price. Obviously, we get a lot of smaller investors, but these are the ones that actually make the price go, get the big candles up and down, red and green. So, and you can actually see that in the chart on the smaller time scale. If we go back to an hour, you can see that in our recent charts. These red candles and the green candles are what's making the price go up and down like that. So, pretty interesting stuff there. So we're now back at quadruple 0582, which is actually pretty good at the moment. And let's have a look at the total one. So we're going to look at the total wallets now. So if we look at all the wallets here, there is 12,824 addresses. That's you heard right, folks. 12,824 addresses. So basically, on a Polygon scan, you can download that file. I've done that. I've downloaded all the wallets, and you can see them all here. They're all just sitting there nice and pretty. And what I've done is I've done a cutoff. Cut off the amount at 10 million. 10 million is where I've cut it off, and that is, folks, around about $500, $530 at the moment on the price. Well, it's actually a bit higher now because prices went up, but it was $530 when it is. It's now about $580 now, almost $600 at the current price. So that's what I've done. I've gone through, got all the wallets that are 10 million or more. That seems a fair amount. $500 is a good entry point for most people's investors. Obviously, it depends where you are from around the world, but that's the cool thing about Axion. It allows people that are in low income places around the world to actually invest and get a decent return and a supercharged deposit where you earn Axion and wrap Bitcoin dividends. So it's pretty cool. Opens up for people from all around the place, not just United States or Europe or somewhere like that. It really is quite cool. All right, so we've taken all that data, and of course that's 879 accounts, okay, and excluded the burn address and excluded the team's dev wallet. So we've taken those out, and then we chart that over here. And of course, this is on a linear scale, and so you can see that the bottom right end here is 10 million. These are wallets with 10 million, and as these are every wallet, every line is a different wallet, and as we keep going up there. So at the bottom here, there are 879 wallets. And of course, you can see that most of these ones down here got 10 million. And then as we go up here, we start rising into the 50, 60 million in the wallets and so forth. We get up to 200 million. And of course, if we get back to about here, so all the wallets above here is what we've been looking at amongst the big wallets, and you can see they're the big ones with the big volume that can really move stuff. Now there's the top wallet, of course. I think the top wallet's the only one that they've got in there. That wallet is not that wallet is the actual contract and for Sushi Swap. So that's where you buy and sell stuff there, but I just left that in there because it is in circulating supply. But apart from that wallet, otherwise we're down here at the wallets that we saw, 1.6 billion or less. So very, very cool. So you can see we only got a few of those. So this gives you an idea that really this stuff here is the stuff that actually impacts price up or down as people are adding to or subtracting from. So it's pretty interesting to see. You can change the chart to log. It's a little bit, it creates a different picture. In fact, we might just do that, and just to show you that as well. If you want to do log scale, you can do log scale, and then it gives you that sort of looking chart. So it changes the number here as well. So it gives you a little bit of an easier picture to look at, but not as how to say, not as easy to, well, it's kind of a little less intuitive to follow, if that makes sense. I think linear is probably the better chart for this one. All right, so that's all the wallets there, and so you can sort of see how much volume that we're dealing with, and I think that, man, it's looking, I think we're actually at a really good turning point based on the current behavior. Obviously, no one knows the future for certain, but I think that this kind of accumulation here by new wallets is very positive, and looks very, yeah, I think it's looking great. Plus, with the potential tokenomics changes that are being proposed, lifting the buy and burn for 55%. Upwards, so I think that's pretty positive too. And so we're going to jump over to Discord and pick and have a look at the latest accelerated tokenomics proposals. It's going to go to community vote, which is very, very cool. And we're going to check that out. And Solix is in the house. Says pulling sleep is the cousin of death. Oh, really? Hey, John Atkins in the house. Hi, Superman, everyone. Hey, John Atkins, great to see you. Woohoo! Always good to see Axion token members in the house. Very cool. All right, so let's jump over to Axion, and we're going to go up to the announcements, and we're going to highlight some of the stuff. So this is going to even add more power to the Axion price. So this is really, really cool. So tokenomics and simulations town hall recording. So earlier today, pulling from the Axion market direction from Axion held a town hall with the community. There were over 100 people in it, which is really good result moving into the big beginning of the year. That's really great. Thank you to 100 people who joined the simulations in the town hall. I hope it was pretty quiet because you wouldn't want to have everybody talking, 100 people talking like this, but I'm sure it was a pretty good forum. I have uploaded the recording to the YouTube, available here. Now I've posted this this announcement on Axion Token Community tab, so you can see all the stuff there and watch the video as well. Apologies for the audio. It seems to have recorded other people speaking very quietly. So like I say, lots of people, you get on with 100 people, it could be quite crazy, but definitely check that out. It's got lots of cool tokenomics and modeling that the team has done, Pullen and the rest of the team, so very, very cool. The major things discussed were the following ideas: potentially implementing of a 4% sales tax. Obviously, sales tax reduces can reduce to some people reduce the sell pressure. The other thing, of course, is 2% will be burned of that 4%, and 2% is reflected back to stakers as extra interest, which is pretty cool. That's another incentive to keep staking, which is nice. This 2% burn could actually reduce the total supply by about 20% over time, depending on the volume. Further simulations to be done on this first, so they're going to do some more work around that. Number 2, so this is around the accelerator. Accelerator settings are currently 55% buy and burn, 30% wrap Bitcoin dividends, and 15% to the team, which goes for staff costs and marketing and things like that. So cool. And then, of course, they're looking at potentially changing that to 70%, which I think is actually a pretty good number, and then 15% and 15% with the 70% Axion buyback and burn. Now, I'm not sure what the duration of that is because I haven't actually watched the whole video yet, but that's definitely in the play. Let me know in the chat if you know what that is. I think Pullen's still in the chat there. So cool. Shane Walker says, good night all. Hey, night fixation. Have a good sleep. And so we aim to get the snapshot DAO voting system set back up again now that we are on Polygon so that people can officially vote using their wallet. Once this is up, we will vote on the above items before implementing them. So very, very cool to see that the social DAO working with the community, and I think that this will be a pretty good proposal. I'm not sure if they're going to keep running these for 15 days length. That's probably a reasonable thing to do. We'll see what they do on that. All right, so there's the big announcement today, and I think that's really positive. So we've got big whales buying at the moment. We've got big whales buying in here at the moment. They seem to be dominating the price. We've got improved tokenomics coming in with the 70%. And of course, we've also got the price starting to rise, getting a nice little green candle. This starts to breed confidence. We've got a better price de-escalation, as it were. So the price angle is starting to reduce dramatically. Looks like we're really getting towards the bottom of that. And man, so everything's starting to look really good. There's lots of stuff happening in early releases, as I say, new launch partners, investor video series, onboarding, all that sort of stuff, and much more. So definitely something that food for thought there as you investigate Axion. So definitely, if you're new to Axion, check out Axion.network. Hit up the team and Telegram and Discord. Join there. Very social team. Of course, they run social programs on Discord and Telegram, and have once or twice a week have big catch-ups there, audio conversations, all sorts of stuff, and learn more about Axion. Definitely pretty cool. So. All right, so that's probably the highlight that I want to talk about today. We're just going to jump back to the accelerator, and just to make sure you understand, this is where you buy and stake through the accelerator. This is the main platform, and of course, there are bonuses in there to get, so pretty nice. So you can get up to 15% bonus there, and of course, if you have what we call a diamond stake NFT, it gives you another 5% bonus. You have to buy those on OpenSea, and you have to have that in your wallet to get that qualified. Minimum period of bonus, of course, is 350 days, and that's 1%. So every year that you stake, you'll get 1% more per year. So if you did 10 years, 10%, that sort of thing. So very, very cool. So you get the bonus through the accelerator. You get the bonus with big paydays. There's 4 big paydays that are an extra reward for stakers. And of course, on top of that, you get a Collider NFT, which actually could get you up to 10 times your initial investment if you win. And it's a 4% chance of winning. And it does depend on the multiplier on your particle NFT. And you can use it in what they call the Collider, which is on this page here. It's very, very cool. Actually see that looks pretty nice. On top of that, of course, you earn wrap Bitcoin dividends, and you can withdraw those at any time. So very, very cool. So basically the idea is that you just select your tokens that you want, the amount that you want to invest, and the days that you want to stake. That determines your bonuses, and that would impact your big paydays and your accelerated bonus, and of course your wrap Bitcoin dividends as well. Is basically how long you stake really does impact the rewards there. Now, when you invest, of course, and other people invest, all that money is taken, and at the moment, 55%. As we come back to this stuff here, 55% is used to buy and burn Axion on the market. So the money that you invest with other people investing goes and buys Axion on SushiSwap, and then it burns that. So it's pretty cool. Helps support that price going up, which is pretty positive. Now they're looking to increase that to 70%, which I think is a good move. And then of course the wrap Bitcoins would decrease, so that would impact the APR, at least for the period of time that this is running. Typically the first one was run 15 days, and then finally 15% to the team, which is very much needed for marketing, sales, staff costs, and things like that. So very cool. I think this is a very positive moment, and this is the reason why I did the video right now, is because I saw all this stuff and I thought, wait a minute, what's been going on here? The price is certainly starting to look like it's picking up a bit, and the angle's coming down. So sell pressure seems to be coming off. So I'm very excited about this. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I think we're going to wrap up there, and yeah, it's looking good. So far, sold through the accelerator, 15.7 million, 7.5 million burned already. So you can see it working in motion, and 0.005 wrap Bitcoin paid out to stakers, and that's only with 4% sold at the moment. So it's early days, another half a day to sell out on this one. So very cool. All right, hope you enjoyed that one. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell, and look forward to catching you guys tomorrow. This was a bit of a surprise live stream, and so I thought it would be fun because I saw that price moving up. Thought, hey, perfect time to do this video. All right, take care, everybody, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.